In this video, we are on a road trip to explore some trails in the Redwoods National and State Parks while staying in a cabin in Trinidad, along with a pit stop in Eureka, California. Our goal was to reach the Redwoods National and State Parks. However, to break up the drive, we took a detour in Eureka, which is a cool little town with lots of Victorian-style houses and worth checking out if you're passing through Northern California. We stayed at the Eureka Inn, which I would highly recommend if you are into quirky hotels with some personality. This inn was featured as the Morehouse Hotel in 2018's An Evening with Beverly Loughlin, starring Aubrey Plaza. Walking through this place, it is filled to the gills with history and character around every corner. The room itself was quaint and just what we needed. In town, we found some amuse-bouche at the Humboldt Bay Provisions, which has a fine tap selection for beers and a great oyster selection. Then we had dinner at the highly recommended Sea Grill, which had some character with an older vibe to it, serving delicious seafood dishes as the name suggests. Usually I'm on top of taking food pics, but I was lagging on this trip, so we're working with Yelp pics for now. From Eureka, it was a 30-minute drive to our next stay in Trinidad, where we stayed in a cabin at the Emerald Forest. This was a quaint little spot nestled in a forest, complete with a kitchen and legit porch for chillin'. Onto the Redwoods National and State Parks. First off, let me say this place is great. You should know there are some areas that require reservations to explore. However, there are plenty of options to check out for those flying by the seat of their pants like we were. Many of the groves are accessible via shorter trails, giving people the option to see a lot in a short amount of time. The first trail we checked out was the Founders Grove Nature Trail, a half-mile loop with 29 feet of elevation gain. This is the largest and most impressive stand of redwoods on the Avenue of the Giants.
You're so tiny!
Despite being a short trail, our necks were definitely feeling it because it's hard not to look up as you walk among these giants.
Jeez! It's like bigger than a house.
Some of these tree burls look like people from a distance. Throughout the 1930s, 40s, and 50s, the Founders Tree was the tallest known tree in the world. The sounds, the smells, and the sights always make me feel at peace, sort of like we're just passing through, while many of these trees have lived longer than many of us and will be here long after we're gone. Our next stop was the Stout Memorial Grove Trail, a 0.6-mile trail with 32 feet of elevation gain. This 44-acre grove of old-growth redwoods reaching 300 feet in height was donated in 1929 by Clara W. Stout in memory of her late husband, lumberman Frank D. Stout. Here is the Lady Bird Johnson Grove Trail, a 1.4-mile trail with 101 feet of elevation gain. This grove was dedicated to former First Lady Lady Bird Johnson in 1969 by President Nixon for her conservation and environmental work. Walking along this trail, you will find acres of second-growth forest with pockets of old-growth redwoods. I really wanted to see a waterfall, so we rounded out our trip with the Trillium Falls Trail, a 2.6 mile hike with 413 feet of elevation gain. Along this trail, you will pass along old-growth redwoods, maples, trillium flowers, ferns, and huge fir trees.
Bye, buddy. I got distracted because we were looking at this big old tree. It is.
And that wraps up our trip. We would definitely return to Redwood National and State Parks, especially to check out some of the reservation hikes like Tall Trees, Gold Bluffs Beach, and Fern Canyon. All that to say, Redwoods National and State Parks should definitely be on your list. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Until then, get outside and take a hike.